our video on Java programming, and especially in this we are going to deal with a program with the two classes. So far we have seen program with the one class, but as you know, in Java program we can have any number of classes depending upon the need. So this is a standard Java program. So let's begin. Now, as you can see, this is a standard Java program where we have two classes, basically room and room area. As you know, you can have any number of classes in your single Java program. So what I have done over here, I have just made a class with the name room. Fine. And inside the body of this class, I have two variables called length and width of float data type. Okay, and at the same time I have a method called get data. Okay, and this method has two arguments which is of a and b of type float. Both are of float type, and it is not returning any value. That is why I have used a keyword called void. I hope that you are getting it. Now inside the body of this method we have two more variables, length and width, which are the global variable belongs to class room. And what we are doing actually inside this method is to assigning the value of a and b from these two arguments, and these two arguments a and b are finally giving their value to length and width. So this is one way of initializing the global variable length and width using arguments called a and b, but make sure that both should be of similar type. As you can see, float a and b, at the same time we have float length and width, both are of float type. There cannot be a mismatch. All right, so actually when this method will be called and the argument which will pass over here for a and b will finally assign their values to length and width. So this is the end of this method. So this curly bracket is closing, and finally we are closing this class also. So what this class actually contain? This class contain basically three members where there are two variables, length and width, and one method called get data, which is actually providing the data to two variable length and width. That's all. Now in the same program I have one more class called room area. Fine, and this room area has inside the body one main method. I think you are now well aware of this main method, public static void main string args. Okay, so inside this main method what I'm doing is I'm creating one more variable with the name area, and this is again of float type. So make sure that this particular class has one more variable area, again of float type. And finally have a look at this statement, room ob equals to new room bracket open and close. So what actually I'm doing, this statement is actually creating an object of which class? Class room. Okay, above class inside room area. So this can easily be done. Don't get surprised. See, actually we are in room area class, and inside the body of this room area class we are actually creating an object of the previous class called room. How? By using class name room, then ob is the name of that object or a representative of a class, and new is that keyword which allocates space for this object, and this finally room with bracket open is and close is called constructor, which will actually initialize this object when it is being created. But since there is no argument, these type of constructors are called default constructors. Alright, then finally once this object has been created of which class? Room class inside room area. Now using this object with the dot operator we are calling a method called get data. This also belongs to which class? Not room area but room. And since you know this concept, we need an object of that particular class called room to invoke the member of that class get data, which is again of class room. So there won't be any problem because both ob an object and get data a method both belongs to class room. And since look at the definition and the prototype of this method get data, it needs two argument of float type a and b. So that is why we are passing value 14.0 and 10.0 to it, because float are value with the fractional part also. So this has to match. You can't pass any other type of value like integer because it accepts float type of value. I hope that you are getting. And finally, once these 14 and 10 is been passed to A and B, so what will happen, it will go to its definition part. So here A will be assigned value as 14, B will be assigned the value as 10, and then finally this 14 and 10 will give their value back to length and width. So this way what is happening, actually we are assigning value uh, 14 and 10 to A, then A and B are giving their value to length and width. So once these length and width they have been assigned value with the help of this method, now what we are actually doing, we are just get computing the area, and for that what we are doing, ob dot length multiply by ob dot width, because we know ob is an object of classroom whereas length and width are also the variable of classroom. So I hope that you are getting it. Length and width are the two variable of classroom. At the same time we have an object called ob which is also of classroom, which we have created over here. So again using dot operator we are invoking those two variables and then finally multiplying, and value which we have already assigned as 14 and 10. So what actually it is doing here, we are multiplying 14.0 with 10.0, and the finally whatever the output result will be stored in area, and using system.out.println actually we are printing the area which we have computed, which is over here, and this is actually a string or a statement which will be printed on the screen so that we can clearly see. So it will print area. So according to this, what should be the area? That is simply 14.0 multiplied by 10.0 is 140.0. Okay, now we will test this program using BlueJ. Okay, so to see its output, so for this I'm just minimizing it, and here is BlueJ. Okay, so in BlueJ we'll try to see how this program actually works. So for I have already made this program, so first we'll try to see this program on editor window, and this is our program. So I think you can check this is the same program what I was explaining. Okay, with get data method, then room area, then you have a, and we are creating an object and then finally calling them and then ultimately computing the area and printing. Now first we'll compile it and see. So after compilation we can see it's been compiled without any error. That means there is no problem with this program, basically in the syntax. So we will close it and then now we'll run. So I'll run with calling the main method, and as soon as I will run I can see the result, which is area equals to 140. This is what we were printing. We were printing actually the area after the computation, and it was 14.0 multiplied by 10.0, so the result is again 140.0 because this is float type of variable, so it will have a fractional part also. So I hope that you must have got this program now, how to do and how to actually compile, save and run. So this is one program. For that I have given one slide also, and here also using BlueJ. So this program tells you how we can work with the two classes. The first class room has all the variables and method which will be needing there in the next class, and the room area is the class where we are actually implementing the concept and computing the area of that room and printing the result. So I hope that you must have got it. So this is the end of our video. Thank you very much.